have with me today Benjamin Giffone, who is a pastor, chaplain, and missionary. He currently teaches Old Testament in a graduate program at a seminary in South Asia, while serving as a part-time pastor. He's previously taught at a university in Lithuania, and he's also lectured at other universities and seminaries in North America. He is the author of a brand new book, House Divided, Technology, Worship, and Healing the Church After COVID, which is the topic of today's conversation. And for those of you who heard me pause before I read the title of the book, I was holding it up so you could see at least the current iteration of the cover while we're in production here, because we're recording this while we're at the very, very, very final stages of getting this off to print. Benj, thanks for joining me here.
Oh, Doug, it's really great to be on the podcast, and I really appreciate all the work that you and the LCI team have done to get this book towards publication. So thanks.
Yeah, this conversation is a little bit of a culmination, like a little bit of a milestone. Like we have a copy in hand to show people on screen. We have a copy to read, to send to people. We're still kind of going through some final, just last minute edits and tweaks and those kinds of things. But this book is actually a really, really important book. And as I mentioned, as I read the subtitle, I said the word COVID, and everybody might be thinking, a book about COVID, really? But this really isn't necessarily a book just about COVID. Why is that the case? Because this is important beyond COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. This book has been a long time coming, and I have, like you mentioned before, I've been a pastor, been a professor, served as a missionary, and I actually was writing a bit about worship and technology and these kinds of matters even prior to COVID. And so when the COVID pandemic hit and we saw all of the changes that happened to education, the way we way we do our work, the way we even as well do church, I felt like there were some important things to say, and that we were not just sort of grasping in the dark for resources to think about how to approach this new world that we were living in. And as it became more apparent that we were going to be spending a lot more of our time on devices and on technology, I was looking for not just biblical resources, but also resources in the fields of media ecology and philosophy and communications to think about what it is that we're doing when we are interacting digitally and when we are, supposedly worshiping or doing discipleship in this kind of new mediated format. And so this is something that was a long time coming. And so I feel like this book is an attempt to situate what we went through, not just in the context of a global pandemic, but really the preconditions for the response to the pandemic in the church and in society, and even beyond the pandemic, which I think most of us would agree that COVID does not play a very significant role in our considerations anymore. But beyond the pandemic, the issues that those issues that we saw surfacing before the pandemic and then on full blast during the pandemic are still there and need to be addressed, in my view.